Junior here. Listen, you know what? I was sitting here earlier and I was thinking about how Hollywood or the movie industry loves to remake things and love to make remakes of remakes that didn't need a remake. And even some movies get sequels that didn't need a sequel at all. One of those movies I was thinking about was Color Purple. Listen, Color Purple wasn't a bad movie to me, per se. Even though I'm grown and I have issues with it now when I think back on it, it wasn't a bad movie. It just never needed to be remade. And it definitely didn't need a sequel. Now I know that the one on Broadway, the play, the musical, has done really well over the years with Fantasia. But I don't think that people that were going into this one thought that this was going to be a musical, and everybody was highly disappointed. The movie didn't do well at all, but nobody was asking for a Color Purple movie. Gosh, and they definitely don't ever need to do a sequel. Listen, next movie on my list, I was a kid when I saw this. Now, I had no business watching this. I didn't know what I was getting into. I don't think my mother knew what we was getting into. But Beloved.
Good God, girl. What kind of evil you got there?
Like, first of all, who asked for this movie? Now, going back and looking on the story, I'm not saying that this isn't somebody's history and it's not somebody's story. I'm just saying we didn't need to see this in a film. You know what I'm talking about? And reading on it originally, like the lady who wrote it, it was about a lady who ran away to freedom in the 1850s. And when the slave catchers caught up to her, she was barricaded in a cabin with her children, and she decided to try to take her children's life so they would never have to go through slavery. You know, she only accomplished, unaliving one of the kids. And later on in the movie, the kid came back as a spirit that was living in a house and communicating with her, and her boyfriend, husband, whoever Danny Glover was, because he was in this movie too, he done had sex with the thing because it said touch me on the inside, and they got like a little demon baby, and the demon all on the porch. And they finally, I never saw the victory in this movie. I didn't see it. I don't get the point. Why did we need to see this trauma and this tragedy? Who asked for that? And it better not ever be a part 2. Next movie on my list, I got For Colored Girls. Now listen.
You take all your guilt and all your grind. I can't use another.
Listen, I know that this is somebody's trauma. This is somebody's history. And somebody wrote a book about it, but why did we need to see this in theaters? We didn't need to see this. Tyler Perry, we didn't need to see this. Now I only watched it because somebody recommended it to me. Usually I don't go in and watch certain things, you know what I'm saying? I just know certain things just ain't for me. But this right here, listen, I'm a person with a dark sense of humor. I laugh at things that a lot of people don't find funny. But when that man threw them babies out that window, listen, I was traumatized. Like, that touched me deep. That touched me. I was upset. You know what I'm talking about? Then the part when Janet Jackson was telling Ghost from Power, oh, you the one doing the bending over?
How did you marry a woman and then turn around and let a man bend you over?
I did laugh at that, I ain't even gonna lie. But still, like, we didn't need to see that. Who thought that we needed to see this trauma? Who did it feed? Who did it nourish? Who did it heal? By watching this, nobody. It better not ever be a part 2. I don't even know if they wrote a second book to this. I just know we didn't need to see this. For Colored Girls. Also on my list, I got Precious.
About the abuse in your household. You know what I'm talking about.
You sit there and judge me, and you write them notes on your pad about who you think I am.
I forgot who that was a long time ago said a demon wrote this. Like, who wrote Precious? And I know this is somebody's story, this is somebody's history, but still, who wrote this? And why do we need to see this in the movie? Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry? Why do we need to see this? The mother that Monique was a horrible, disgusting mother. And I'm not saying people don't exist. Matter of fact, I believe I know somebody like this. But why did we need to see this movie? This was something that definitely was disgusting to watch. You know what I'm saying? Who did it feed? Who did it nourish? Who did it heal? Who needed to get this story out there so bad? I understand it made money, but we didn't need to see this. And it better not ever be a sequel. I don't know if it's a part 2 or not, but I don't want to see that mess again. Number 1 on my list might be a movie that some people probably haven't seen, but it's a movie that I watched because I used to be the bootleg man in one of my jobs. I used to work the front desk at a hospital, and on the side, I was the bootleg movie man. And I had a homegirl, no disrespect to her, I love her to death. She's a great person.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Ricky, listen, I want to see this movie called Mississippi Down.
You got to go with these officers.
What you say? You better show me.
So I got the movie for her. And after she watched it, she was like, Rick, you really need to watch this movie. So I watched the movie, and nothing good ever happened to this family in this movie at all. I feel like this is a women thing where they love watching trauma or watching other people trauma or whatever. They identify with it. For some reason, I didn't identify with nothing. Listen, when you watch this movie, first of all, a woman caught a man cheating. She done unalived him and the woman he was cheating with. You know what I'm talking about? Her kids had to go live with another member of the family who had cancer. The daddy was alcoholic. Then another child in the family had to go stay with them too. One of the little boys was getting sexually assaulted by his dad's best friend, and then he went home and started doing it to the other kids, and then they grew up. Nothing good happened to these people in this movie called Mississippi Damned. I know this is somebody's story. It's not my story. I understand that some people want to tell a story and they put it in a book. I get it. I just don't think we needed to see it in a movie. Like, who gets off on this? I don't. It was horrible, disgusting, but it made somebody some money. I guess it did help them in that light, but some stuff you need to keep in the family. I know a lot of people, families keep dark secrets. Just some stuff you need to keep in-house. I don't need to see it. Maybe somebody who identified with it, they be like, okay, I'm not the only one that had a jacked up situation, but damn, I didn't want to watch this. And it better not ever be a part 2 or a remake. Going back and looking online, I had forgot Tessa Thompson was even in this movie. This before Tessa Thompson was Tessa Thompson Jr.